Hey everybody, my name is Rick Schaff and I want to tell you about an awesome project I'm working on called Trinity 20. Trinity 20 is a science-backed wellness program where we take 3 medical devices, we put them together in one session to give you a stack of unbelievable benefits in 20 minutes or less. Let's take a look at the first member of our Trinity system, and that's the power plate. All right, being a photographer in the health and fitness industry, every once in a while I would take photos of people on these vibration plates, and I didn't know much about them, and I didn't really understand the benefits. I just kind of assumed it was for balance, which is of course helpful, but there's much more, especially when you look at the top of the food chain of whole body vibration, and that's power plate. Power plate is different because it vibrates at 3 different directions at the same time. This causes your muscles on the average to contract about 40 times a second. That's 2,400 contractions in a single minute. So if you start stacking minutes, you can see what happens here. Your whole body is contracting. And what it does is it activates muscle fibers, like 138% more muscle fiber activation using power plate than you would in traditional training. And listen, that's just the tip of the iceberg. A power plate does much more than that. When you stand on it, you're unstable, and your body sends a bunch of alerts through the system saying, I'm unstable, I need to get stronger, I need to protect myself, I need stronger bones, I need stronger muscles, I need to make sure if I fall, I don't tear a tendon. So all these things start happening in your body. You start to release a ton of awesome compounds and hormones to make your bones thicker, your muscles stronger, things that will actually tell your tendons to elongate so that if you fall, you won't tear a muscle. So with consistent use of a power plate, you're gonna get stronger bones, stronger muscles, you're gonna become more flexible, and there's many other things that are gonna happen as well. But right now, we're gonna move on to the second member of our Trinity, KAATSU. You know, again, as a photographer in the health and fitness industry, I would often photograph people wearing bands and exercising, and I didn't really understand all the benefits involved with that. I didn't know that there was a brand like Power Plate that stands above the rest, and that was KAATSU. And the reason is because KAATSU was developed by Dr. Sato in Japan, and he's the one that did all the science on blood flow restriction for the last 50 years. Dr. Sato worked closely with the University of Tokyo in order to refine all of the science on blood flow restriction. The reason KAATSU is different is because it uses bands that go around your arms or your legs. It's important to note that the bands do not cut off blood flow. They restrict blood flow by a patented tube, a bladder that's inside the bands that's specifically shaped in an oval way that allows blood coming in through the arteries, but restricts it going back to the heart. And when you do that, it pools all the blood in certain areas and restricts oxygen in those areas to make the muscles work harder. So the beauty of KAATSU is that it makes lightweight get heavy very fast. And then you get all the benefits of lifting heavy weights with none of the risks involved. And you don't even have to use weight. You can use body weight. You can do like body weight squats, and they will get very difficult very fast, and you'll get all the benefits of squatting with heavier weight. So moving on to the next part of our Trinity, last but not least, red light therapy. You know, growing up, I realized the sun was important, like anybody, but I thought that the main benefit of the sun was to get vitamin D when it contacted your skin and created that hormone. What I didn't know is there's a whole bunch of other benefits that you get specifically when the sun rises and the sun sets. So that first hour of sunlight and that last hour of sunlight are red light. So it's red light and it's near infrared light, and that stuff is magical. When it goes into your eyes, it produces a bunch of hormones and awesome release of things like nitric oxide. It also goes deep into your system, past your skin. It doesn't matter if you have clothes on or whatever, it goes deep inside of you and it starts to fix everything. And the reason it fixes everything is because it allows your mitochondria to work better. So you might remember from high school biology, mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cells. They create ATP, and then that gives you energy. The sun, the red light and the infrared light help your body work better to create more energy. And it starts to fix everything that needs to be fixed. The implications are limitless. Everything can be fixed because now you have the energy from the mitochondria working better. I have to admit that I never thought that the red light panels that are so popular right now could it be anywhere near effective as what the sun gives us every morning and every night. But I read the studies. These things can be very helpful, especially if your schedule doesn't allow you to get that morning or late night sun. Now, I think you should get that when you can, because it's an unbelievable gift from God. But if you can't, these panels can actually make your mitochondria work better. We're going to find the best company to work with the least amount of risk and the most benefits. The formula is simple. Power Plate activates more muscle fibers than traditional exercise does. KAATSU restricts blood flow, creates a lack of oxygen, and makes those muscle fibers work harder and smarter. Red light therapy comes in and creates the energy needed to take advantage of all those benefits and create optimum wellness. Think of it this way: strength plus circulation plus recovery, all in 20 minutes with 2 major pathways of muscle growth activation at the same time. Minimal risk and 0 impact on your joints. Without a doubt, this system can help anyone from the average Joe to the elite athlete, but no one will benefit more than the elderly population who's in constant battle against muscle loss, circulation, bone density, mitochondrial function, and the decline in both cognitive function and hormonal production. Trinity 20 is the solution. Trinity 20. Let's make it happen.